Hey guys, welcome to Head Ass Podcast. I'm joined today by Jack Price.
What up?
He's gonna be my co-host while until Brian gets back. Maybe he'll stay on. Maybe I might kick Brian off. We'll see what goes. If you guys like Jack enough, we'll keep him around.
We'll see.
What do you want to talk about today, buddy?
Honestly, we had talked about just before the podcast started the Soulja Boy and Chris Brown beef, and just I guess how do you feel? What are you feeling about it?
Okay, I got my money on Chris Brown.
Just looking at pictures, I would say that's a fair assessment.
Everyone's making the meme like, oh, he's gonna beat Soulja Boy like he beat Rihanna. That is totally unnecessary. Like, don't make that joke, please. Mm-hmm. It's overused and it's not even funny. But if this takes off, I'm so down with like celebrity boxing matches.
Yeah,
I'm so down with that.
Definitely.
Any beef celebrities have with each other, handle it in the ring. Mm-hmm. Floyd Mayweather will pay for it all.
Right. Of course.
Pay-per-view, they'll make a bunch of money. Just beat the fuck out of each other. I'm so down for that.
Mm-hmm. So do we know when the fight is taking place? Like,
I personally don't. Do you?
No, I have no idea.
I think it's 19th.
The 19th. And who's fighting? I know that it's Soulja Boy and Chris Brown, and I'd also heard Riff Raff and 50 Cent.
Really?
We're fighting as well.
I didn't know about that.
And then I'd heard rumors of 21 Savage and 22 Savage.
Oh.
But I'd heard that 21 Savage declined. This is all Twitter and YouTube speculation, though, so don't take anything that I'm saying as...
50 Cent is going to beat the snot out of Riff Raff.
I think so, too.
If that happens.
I think so, too. Riff Raff is bulkier than shit. He's such a big guy, but I just can't see him...
He's a meme. He's a meme, and I have no respect for the dude because when I was in high school, he was DMing... girls that I went to high school with.
Fuck me, I remember that. God
do you remember?
Damn it, I do remember him DMing local females.
He would DM, like, sophomore chicks while I was a junior. And he was, like, asking them to come to LA. I was like, do you not realize these girls are 15 years old? Like, what? You were a fucking pedo, bro.
I do remember that, now that you say that. I definitely remember that.
He's weird. He's a weird fucking dude. So I got all my money on 50.
Right.
I got all my money on Chris. I like Soulja Boy. He's funny. He's a good laugh. But when it comes down to like an actual like fight,
right.
Chris Brown's gonna
win.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Chris Brown is a bitch to me. Like
both of them are bitch.
Chris
they're
Brown,
both bitches to me.
But god damn it, Soulja Boy is not gonna win. And did you see the video? I saw it on Twitter today, and it was like Soulja Boy, and he's like lifting these 5-pound weights, like just like. What are you doing, bro?
Mike Tyson's training
Chris Brown. I did see that. And what is it? Is it still Floyd Mayweather is training Soulja Boy?
Soulja Boy, which I can't imagine is going very well because he's lifting 5-pound weights.
Very strange to me. And you saw the video of Soulja Boy where he was talking about. I don't even know what the context of the damn video is, but he's like, and he come in, brah, shoot him. Brah, take off his mask. He'd be like, did you know who it was? He's like, yeah, I know who it was.
And I looked
was like,
and I said, damn.
And I was like, gah. Like, bro, what are you
It's like that never
about?
happened. He reminds me of my grandpa making up random war stories that never happened.
Mm-hmm. He definitely is that kid. He's that kid from high school who had like all the stories like of all the big weekends where it's like, yeah, and I was fucking 2 bitches and they were both 30. Like no. Relax, big guy. That's what Soulja Boy reminds me of. So, he has been getting really caught flexing. Did you saw the video where he was like in that huge penthouse and he was talking about how he paid like $6 million for this big ass penthouse, and it turns out it was an Airbnb like apartment that you could rent, and he was paying like $2,000 a night for it, but he said that he bought it. Like,
Brian always sends me different Twitter videos of Soulja Boy. I just like I see him and I'm like, I don't care enough to watch this. But Brian's really into it. Brian wanted to talk about it on the podcast. I said me and Jack will talk about it on your behalf. But he's got his money on Soulja Boy.
Really?
Which I'm like, bro.
Does he have any? What's his reasoning behind that? I guess.
I just think he's just like I'm gonna take the underdog. I was like,
Right. I just can't see. I just can't see it. Soulja Boy is too little. Well, there was that video he got robbed in the hood. Remember that video? And they took his phone. That's his well-being, bro. That's his link to relevancy.
Yep.
So it's like it's over.
although that Bow Wow tape he made with
You said that was fire.
it was awesome.
God,
It's really good.
And Soulja Boy is probably the most consistent rapper of all time. Like,
His sound has never changed.
dude puts out probably like 3-4 mixtapes a year, and they're like 25 songs. It's like, and all of them are the same. Like, so he's the most consistent dude of all time, just dropping all this content.
He's either making videos of himself saying he's gonna beat some other rapper up, or he's
Yep.
like making a song.
Who did he have beef with this year besides
Quavo?
And he dropped that diss song, and the cover art was like a screenshot.
Who else though? There was another person.
Quavo. God damn it.
Fuck. I
can't think of who
can't
it
remember
is.
off the top of my head.
Let me see.
It was Quavo and someone else though.
So we got Quavo, Chris Brown.
It's probably very frustrating to watch if you know who it is.
Right. Soulja Boy beef.
Jack's looking it up real quick. Anyways, I hope everyone's had a good day. This should be coming out pretty soon. I appreciate all the feedback I got on the first podcast. A lot of good feedback. I'm gonna keep putting these out for you if you guys enjoy them enough. So I appreciate it a lot. This is kind of just a fun thing I wanted to start doing podcasts. It's kind of unnecessary. It's like really lengthy. It's like you don't have the time to listen to it. I understand. But again, thank you. So to everyone that's listening, you gotta be.
I'm looking. Ice-T. Nah, that wasn't this year. This is
No.
like just a list of everyone he's beefed with.
It's Quavo and
He had beef with Bow Wow at one point.
I'm sure he
They made
did.
So this could be a ploy. We could be seeing a Chris Brown, Soulja Boy mixtape. Although now that we're on the topic of Soulja Boy mixtapes, like collab mixtapes, you can't deny that a Soulja Boy Amigos tape would probably really spaz.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
That shit would really
That'd be hard
spaz.
as
So
fuck.
maybe this is all a ploy.
Mm-hmm. I saw that Soulja Boy had Quavo's chain for the longest time.
I saw that also. I
don't really know how all that works. Like, if you have someone else's chain, it's like, can you give that back to me? But I guess
Right.
it's like, if you have someone else's chain, it means they're like a bitch to you or something. I don't know how all that works, because I'm a white kid in the suburbs,
right.
and I don't know how all the rap culture and politics go.
Lil Yachty.
Little Yachty, that's right.
God
damn
How
it.
did we forget
How
it was
did we forget-
Lil
yeah.
Yachty?
God, they are probably so fucking mad. They're like, what the fuck? They're like, it's Lil Yachty. They're probably just screaming at us.
I know. Lil Yachty. Yeah, definitely Lil Yachty. Which, honestly...
Which I saw a tweet that was like Lil Yachty said like me and Quavo are gonna be ringside just watching.
I'll be wearing a mink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it, I
Yeah.
did see that. I forgot about that.
So let us know who you got your money on. I imagine everyone's got their money on Chris.
It's gotta be Breezy, bro.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Chris Breezy. But, I mean, come on. We all saw the drifting music video with G-Eazy. Dude's spin move is on point.
He just do a spin
He's just
button.
spinning.
He gonna be in there like he from like Street Fighter or some shit.
Step up.
Step up.
He's just gonna pull out the step up moves. I saw some Joe Budden tweet where he said something like, "I don't know, man. Soulja Boy might have it. Breezy died so quick and step up." I was like, damn.
Oh boy. What else you got to talk about? What else you want to talk
I'm
about?
trying to
buddy
think.
boy?
I'm trying to think of more beefs that are going on. I know that there's not really anything that's happening right now besides Chris Brown and Soulja Boy. That's what's definitely dominating the market, the beef market.
Beef market. Get your fresh beef here.
Soulja Boy, Chris Brown slices.
Some ground beef.
It's the tender cut. It's the tender Soulja Boy, Chris Brown cut. I'm trying to think of.
Maybe let's talk let's talk Golden Globes. Did you watch that last night?
I watched a couple of the highlights.
Okay.
I watched Donald Glover's speech for Atlanta, and I watched the Meryl Streep.
What did she say?
Something about...
Because I heard she was talking politics, but I didn't
She
care
was
enough to watch
talking
the video.
politics. She was talking a little bit about Donald Trump,
Okay.
which seems to be the theme of any...
Award show.
Right. Any time, at least this is kind of the theme that I'm noticing, and obviously we're not here to talk about politics, but the theme that I'm noticing is anytime any celebrities sort of get in a position where they can provide commentary of Donald Trump and his presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime that opportunity presents itself, I feel like a lot of stars are taking full advantage of that.
Oh, most definitely.
And I feel like it's impossible to watch an award show or an interview or, anything without somebody kind of bringing up Donald Trump in some way, or bringing up, Donald Trump. But Meryl Streep was basically just talking about how everything is changing, how everything's changed since Donald Trump got elected, which, whatever. He clapped back. Here we're back on beef. He clapped back with a tweet, which is, his forte. I think that...
which is extremely... Can we just get how weird it is?
How weird it is that he tweets as much as he does?
For our president to be tweeting at...
To be throwing subtweets.
To subtweet
At actors and actresses.
He reminds me of a 14-year-old in high school. Like, that won't speak directly. Right. He'll just
he'll just throw the subtweets.
Yeah.
But he basically said something along the lines that Meryl Streep is the most overrated actress of all time, and or the most overrated actress at the Golden Globes, I think it was, and she doesn't know who he is, and that was basically the tweet, and that was his only clap back. I don't think... I'm hard pressed to believe that Meryl Streep gives a fuck about what Donald Trump is tweeting.
I don't think anyone cares what Donald Trump is tweeting.
I had heard that, and maybe this is still just rumor or hot air, but I'd heard there was the thing about when he's elected, he'll be able to send mass texts
I love
to
those
people's
memes.
phones.
Those are the best. Those are great memes.
And
I was like. Single girls in my area hit me up.
Yeah,
some
spell
shit.
I cup.
Yeah, spell I cup.
No, I just think that's really funny that's like a thing that we're talking about now is like, our president might be able to send everybody in the country a text message. Like, what's the y'all hiring? What's the move tonight? My girl mad, you guys. Like,
you got Kush?
Yeah. I gotta do that good cushion alcohol.
Yeah, I didn't watch her speech,
Mm-mm.
but I know that's like the headline.
Right, of course, anytime.
Which I'm totally for celebrities speaking out against, like corruption and politics and shit. Which I'm totally. If you have that like platform, like why would you not speak up about it?
Right, it gives the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. But another thing I want to talk about is my boy Donald Glover won a Golden Globe for Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Was that best comedy series?
Best comedy series, and then he won like best lead actor at a comedy series or something like that.
So he had a good year.
He had a great year. Which, if you haven't seen Atlanta yet, it was the best show on television you could have watched in 2016. Mm-hmm. I'm super psyched about it. I recommend it to you guys to go watch it. You can watch it free on the internet. Just type in like Atlanta stream or whatever.
Most episodes are on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah.
Or I know at least the first 2 or 3 are.
Yeah. But I just want to talk about how just annoying it is. He shouted at Migos, which I'm a big fan of Migos. It's cool. Mm-hmm. But what people are memeing is just like, oh my God, he shouted out Migos. That's so cool. But they don't even know what he's up there for. Mm-hmm. Which is like, I don't know, this is kind of annoying.
Right.
Then me and Brian were making memes earlier, like aren't Migos the guys that made the Bad and Bougie song?
Right. Isn't that they had the Versace song?
Didn't they do what's that one song called? Didn't they do the Mannequin Challenge song? Is that them?
They're those those 3 black guys, they wore the Adidas.
Yeah, Run DMC.
Run Migos. Run DM Migos.
Run DMC. No, it's just like you get like, I don't know. It's just so annoying just seeing that kind of garbage.
That's with anything. Also, that's with anything. Like anything that happens. That's just how the internet is too. Is like people will take one line or one excerpt from the event and just throw the rest aside. It's like, but look at this. And
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's just like if a celebrity mentions another celebrity, that's usually a headline. But it's like he's like, I think he's like one of the first black men, like the first all black show, because it's all got an all black cast,
Yep.
all black producers. It's like the first all black show to win an award,
especially on just like this. That wasn't an FX show, or it wasn't it wasn't an HBO show or like a Showtime or Netflix originally. It was a network TV FX television show.
and that's not being talked about. But the fact that he shouted out Migos, that's being talked about. But
Right.
that, I don't know, it kind of irks me because like I watched that show and that show is beautiful. It's an amazing show to watch. One of the most well produced, best story driven.
He wrote most of it, didn't he?
Yeah, him and his brother wrote most of it. But it's just like, oh man, I wish the headline wasn't Donald Glover shouts at Migos. I wish it was Donald Glover first, blah blah blah, to win a Golden Globe. I don't know. I would just like to see that.
I'm not sure. Did you see Migos' response or their reaction to?
I didn't.
They sent out a tweet to him, and they said, I think it was actually they're like the Migos, their official Twitter, tweeted at him like, thanks for letting us be a part of history or something, which was cool.
Which is very
that
cool.
they
Yeah.
sort of reached back and recognized recognized that like this is bigger than just he shouted out Migos. It's like
Yeah. Well, I guess my biggest upset is I'm seeing locals, and I don't know why I check Twitter moments all the time. I check it. I read it like the newspaper. I don't know why I even check it because it just triggers me. I just get triggered by every single headline there is. I check it because there's like a lot of world events going on. There's a lot of shit, and then you'll just see like top 2016 memes. It's just like,
right.
But just seeing that headline, it was just like not even acknowledging that he won. It was just acknowledging that he won, like, and like shout out Migos. It was just like, and then seeing all the locals
Right.
like tweet that moment. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
I just got triggered. So how are we gonna dig ourselves out of this hole? This deep, depressing hole that I
The
set.
first thing we gotta do is we gotta get rid of memes.
We got to get rid of memes. Jack Price, 2017.
Vote for me when I run for president. That's my slogan.
Get rid of memes.
Get rid of memes. Yeah.
I just did the Hitler salute.
That's how it starts. That's I think how Hitler's rise to power started as well. They were tired of everybody saying, "Here come that boy," with the frog on the unicycle, and Hitler was like, "We gotta put a stop to this."
I'm all for that.
That's not funny, but
Gotta put a stop to that. Exterminate all the memes.
yeah, no. Now we're in a kind of a depressing slump for talking points. God, I don't know what else to talk about.
Can we just talk about how bad Jack's memes are? If you go to Jack's Twitter,
Yeah, head to my Twitter.
he like retweets like Colin White Girl.
Go peep all my meme retweet game.
It's fucking horrible.
It's pretty critical.
He thought Damn Daniel was funny.
Bro, Damn Daniel was funny when it came out.
No,
dog.
it was not. No, it wasn't.
That's a top 10 meme of 2016,
No, bro.
It was, bro. It was, bro.
That wasn't even funny in the slightest. Where was the comedy in that?
Dog. It was just funny. It's
No,
like
it
one of those
was
things like you're
not,
watching it and
Jackson.
you're like, damn, this is kind of funny.
Jackson, no, it wasn't.
No, dude.
I'm being serious because I'm calling you Jackson.
Damn Daniel,
It was not funny.
Damn Daniel was a top 10 meme of 2016.
No, it wasn't.
But it was, bro. It was so popular. It was so popular.
Just because it was popular doesn't mean it was good.
But that's the thing, though. You have to take that into consideration when like you think of the biggest memes, like Designer. Obviously not the best rapper of 2016, but arguably the biggest rapper. Everybody and their mom knows Panda. It's like everybody and their mom knows what Damn Daniel is. Therefore, Damn Daniel was one of the biggest memes.
Hey, I'm gonna get a new co-host next week. Shout Jack's definitely not head ass. He's the head ass.
I feel like I am the most. I'm definitely doing the most head ass shit right now. So I'm definitely the most fit. Maybe I should get a new co-host.
He is the head ass of this podcast. You heard it here. This is public. He thinks Damn Daniel is funny. What is funny about that, Jack?
I can't explain it, dog. It's just funny.
The fun. Hey, he's doing a funny voice.
Well, yeah. It's like, yeah. That's why people like Kevin Hart. He's doing a funny voice.
Kevin Hart's not even funny either.
But he's popular, and Kevin Hart sells out arenas, bro. So somebody thinks Kevin Hart's funny.
All the head-ass
who's
locals.
buying the tickets? The last comedian to sell out like an arena was like Dane Cook.
He's not funny either.
But somebody's buying the tickets. That's the thing.
Yeah, this goes deep. This is deeper than memes.
Somebody's buying the tickets, and I don't think that Dane Cook is buying every ticket to Kevin Hart's show. Maybe he is, though.
Maybe
That'd be weird.
Damn Daniel
That'd be weird. Him and Damn Daniel. Him and Damn Daniel, first and last name. Damn, last name Daniel.
It's like, I'm gonna stab myself in the neck right now.
No, my meme game is critical, and I would definitely recommend subscribe to my meme channel.
You don't have a meme.
I don't have a meme channel, so just follow me on Twitter.
Oh boy. What you guys just heard is one of the worst trailers to ever come out. And that was the noise that I heard that stood out and made me say, this is going to be one of the worst movies of 2017. The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
The Mummy reboot with Tom Cruise.
I don't even want to talk about
So,
I don't even want to talk about
Let's start by talking about the IMAX trailer that came out, and then we can work our way back to
Okay.
the horridness that is this movie. So, if you guys didn't know, I think it's Universal who owns the rights to the Mummy. They have the
Yep.
ride at the park. So Universal put out a trailer for their Mummy reboot, starring Tom Cruise and some other blonde female sex object that
So irreplaceable
will be in this
blonde.
movie. Yeah, like a Bond girl-esque
Yeah.
female. And that they put out a trailer for the movie, and they forgot to put in any sound effects or music. So all there was like just grunting and yelling over this like basically silent video.
And I talked last time on the podcast how I watch a lot of IGN, and IGN is the best kind of like, if you just subscribe to them, they
Yep.
put a lot of trailers up
Yep.
for video games and movies. They usually get it right away. So I was on YouTube one day and it popped up and I was like, oh cool, a Mummy reboot. Like I wonder how this might be cool. I clicked on it and there's this scene where he's in the airplane and the airplane breaks open and that scream plays, and after I heard that, I was like, this movie is going to be horrible, no one's going to watch this. And I remember showing my parents, like, this is going to be the worst movie. And they watched it and they're like, this looks pretty cool. I was like, guys, no, this looks garbage. Please do not go spend money on this movie. But I just like, I told Jack about it, and we were getting wings one day, and I played it for him, and he literally like spit out his chicken because it was
so damn funny.
So funny.
I think it's hilarious that, because the first thing that I thought when I saw the movie poster, it was through IGN that I saw the movie poster. They put it on their Snapchat story, weeks ago, and when I first saw it, I was like, okay, well, I thought it was a sequel to the already pre-existing,
Mummy.
like, Brendan Fraser Mummy films, the pre-existing Mummy films, and I thought maybe it was some kind of reboot, because they had kind of been doing it with the Mummy movies, like with the most recent, the one with Jet Li, where they had the son and he was like a grown man, and so I thought maybe they were doing something where it was like Tom Cruise was supposed to be Brendan Fraser's grandkid or something.
I don't even know because I only watched the first one when I was like 7 years old.
Right. So
I don't even know anything about the like sequels.
yeah.
And shit.
So I don't know what's. I don't think that this has anything to do with it. This has sparked rumors of a extended cinematic monster universe, which
we don't need any more cinematic universes.
Colin and I would say you and I are probably the biggest proponents for cinematic universes when they're cool.
Yeah.
We obviously love the MCU.
Marvel's got their shit right.
And how that's gone, movies that's expanded to TV and Netflix and
I want to see how this Godzilla and King Kong.
Yep, we've talked about that. How Godzilla
universe is gonna go.
And this, what is it? What's the movie just called? Kong.
It's just called Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island. How those are in a cinematic universe.
DC.
DC's kind of dropping the ball, but we have hopes
they pick it
with
up
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love cinematic universes. There was talk initially too when they had kind of announced like Monster Cinematic Universe that that movie Dracula Untold. You remember that came out and you didn't know that it came out but you like saw the trailer. You're like, oh that's coming out, and then it came out and it came to DVD and you didn't even know.
Nobody even.
Yeah.
I think
there were talks initially that was going to be associated with this Mummy reboot, and those were going to be part of the same cinematic universe. I think that Universal's come forward and said that that's not the case. There will be another Dracula movie to act as the cinematic universe Dracula.
Which is like, nobody's asking for this.
Not one person.
Not a single person. You can, if you're going to be like, oh, I asked for it, shut up. Shut up. You didn't ask for it. Nobody's asking for a monster universe. Mm-hmm. Who wants to see... It'd be cool on paper, but executed as a movie and them being good movies... Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's no way, no how it's gonna happen.
Monster movies have had their time.
Give them a. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
give them a Netflix series.
Yep.
Put it there.
Yep.
End it there. Let it die on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gonna watch on Netflix.
Monster movies. Yeah, they've had their time.
Yeah.
But like if you look at any of the recent monster movies, they don't do well from a box office standpoint, from a critical standpoint. From anything standpoint, like let's really think about it. We had, the only good Mummy movie, and this was back in like 1996, I think, when this one came out. So this is fucking 21 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the last, to me, well, not the last, but that was the only good Mummy movie.
The peak.
Yeah, Mummy 2 and 3 were butt cheeks. Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, I liked when I first watched it.
When I was a kid, I loved that movie.
But where he fights Mr. Hyde in that church at the beginning, that shit was fire.
Yeah, that was cool.
When I go back and watch it now, I'm like, yo, this
movie is not aged well.
This is horrendous.
Yeah.
But, so Van Helsing wasn't very good. I just, the Underworld movies, which are sort of that vampire werewolf, I heard the new one is very mediocre. Those have not done well at the box office since probably the first or second one. The first one holds up. I rewatched that a couple weeks ago. First Underworld's fire, but there's just not a demand for monster movies in the way that there's a demand for superhero
Underworld
movies.
And Resident Evil, those movies are in the same category.
Yep.
They're like B-list, kind of action-y, just garbage films.
They have a good start, and then because they have a good first one or two movies, it makes the studio think that people are always going to want this. Let's just crank this shit out and give it to them at the highest velocity.
Yeah. It's just unneeded.
I agree.
It's just flooding the box office. I wish studios would take that money that they're putting in these kind of B-list kind of corny movies and put it into more like more original movies, more sci-fi. I think having a bunch of I'm sure there's tons of sci-fi scripts that are just put under just in some fucking
thrown aside.
Yeah.
Well, there's stuff that have been made in the last couple of years, like sci-fi movies that I've enjoyed iRobot. Mm-hmm. I think I enjoyed iRobot more than any of these monster movies that I've ever seen. I absolutely loved.
And there's definitely after they may not be good box office, but later on, if it's an original, there's going to be a cult following for it because it's an original.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that like you said with sci-fi, I think the sci-fi is so much more in demand when you look at. The Marvel movies, those are very, very heavily rooted in science fiction lore, as opposed to DC, with a lot of the DC Mainly from like Suicide Squad and stuff. A lot of that's more, and like Wonder Woman is more in the fantasy realm, and maybe that has something to do with why they're not doing as well. Maybe not, but like Star Wars is science fiction. It does tremendously well. That more has to do with the fact that it's Star Wars. But like even Star Trek, that does well because or like Stranger Things is a science fiction show as well. That did tremendously well on Netflix. So
and Hollywood's not running out of ideas. We're never gonna run out of ideas.
Right.
We're human. We're always gonna come up with something new. But what Hollywood is doing reboots and sequels to
that
movies
nobody's asking
that nobody's
for.
asking for. They need to put their money into something new, something refreshing, something the audience can get behind and be a fan of, and start a fan base for it.
On the topic of sequels, because I just saw a little ad for this on Twitter, XXX 3.
Nobody asked for it.
Let's talk about how good XXX 1 was, how bad XXX 2 was, and then now how XXX 3.
As a kid, I loved the Ice Cube one. As a kid, I was like, this is cool. But I was a little dumb fucking kid.
Of course.
You watch it now and it's like, this is garbage.
Well, it's crazy. Those movies came out kind of a long time ago. First one I think came out in 2002. But in 2000, the first XXX, it's on Netflix. Both of them are on Netflix if you guys haven't seen them. But the first XXX still holds up as a really enjoyable action movie. And to be honest, I like it more than any of the Fast and Furious movies. I think that it really just did everything. I thought the story was so outrageously over the top that it worked. The second one, I do agree with you. There were parts as a kid that I definitely enjoyed. I rewatched that one recently, and I was like, yo, this is poo-poo.
Yeah.
But XXX 3, I think that's something that didn't need to come out. I don't think that, what's this new Fast and Furious, Fate of the Furious or something?
It's like, I like the first 3 Fast and the Furious movies because it was about cars. It was for car people. That's where like a lot of car culture has come from. That right. I don't know if you ever pay attention to it, but there's a huge culture around cars, and a lot of those people grew up watching Fast and the Furious, and it's turned into this Hollywood fucking action shit. It's just so garbage, and there's a lot of Fast and Furious fans that hate the new ones because it's not even about cars anymore. It's about all just garbage. They're secret agents now. No.
Right.
Let's make it about cars. That's what the fucking movies are supposed to be about. But it makes a ton of fucking money, so they're not gonna stop making it.
Oh my god. And after the success of fucking the 7th one, right when Paul Walker died, rest in peace, Paul Walker, but like, yeah, dude.
And that's Paul Walker's death is definitely like a train ride, and they're just gonna keep milking the fuck out of it.
Right. Well, yeah, because I think that, I agree with you. It was the first, I think 4, where all those, it was the street racers. They were doing the street racing, and Paul Walker was a cop, and
undercover,
and then what was it, the 5th one, where they were driving through the streets with that safe attached, and it was like the whole franchise did this huge just 180 where it was like it was this over the top, just meathead, sexy women beating each other up, doing like in the 7th one, which is interesting because the 7th one, which I thought was atrocious, was directed by James Wan,
he's amazing.
I absolutely love as a director. Did both Conjurings, and absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best horror movies in recent memory to me, I think.
Exactly, I agree.
And he's doing Aquaman.
Yep.
And I think did he do the most recent Star Trek?
I think so.
Beyond?
I think so, yeah.
So he's got such, and to be honest, like, if we're being real with, like, Paul Walker's passing midway through the movie, he really did piece together a good film with having, the lead actor.
He did what he could.
Out of the picture, did a really nice send-off to Paul Walker, but doesn't change the fact that movie was shit, and it's time to let Fast and Furious die, along with all these sequels and reboots that nobody wants.
Nobody's asking,
But we're getting, because Hollywood kind of, like you said, has it in their mind that, like, we could bring this back. All these people's kids are around now, so their parents will want to take them to these movies.
It's a bunch of old businessmen who don't understand
the culture.
And everyone in Hollywood is about the money. And I know there's a few directors that say, I want to make a good movie. I want to make something like Golden Globe worthy, some Oscar worthy, and they'll take their time and they'll make a great movie, but it won't do numbers in the box office, but it'll be recognized for being a good movie.
Right.
Which I think is the way it should be done, instead of making these big budget, high $1 million movies that are horrible. The storyline sucks, the characters suck, and they just make a fuck ton of money because people just don't care. They're, like, you have people.
It's fast food movies.
You have people that want to go to a movie and sit down and watch a good story and get interested in the characters, and then you have people that just want to go to a movie, just a throwaway movie that they can walk out of the theater, not remember anything about it, and just be like, "That was cool when that one thing exploded." That's like, and it's all money. I get it, but I just feel like I just wish we had more directors that would take their time and make a good creative film, and then I feel like it would pay off in the long run, where they can get a higher budget and then they can make bigger, better movies.
Yeah, couldn't have summed it up better. I think that, no, exactly. I don't think you could have summed it up better. I think that the point of a movie, or the point of any form of media, be it movie, television show, book, video game, podcast, you want to come away from it feeling something. You want to come away from it looking at something differently or feeling an emotion that you didn't feel upon going into the movie. And I think it's kind of like a stigma that it's like, oh, these big blockbusters, they can't do that for people. They can't provide that feeling. You have to go to the Sullys and the Hidden Figures, and you have to go to that to get that feeling. But it's possible for these big budget movies to give you that feeling of like, whoa. But it's like the stories are just not being tapped into. Good examples, Captain America: Civil War. Definitely walked out of the theater feeling like, yo, this hit me in the chest. Or I think probably the best example in recent memory for me was Star Wars Episode 7. I
was going to say that. That one was really eye-opening. I remember it was kind of really fan service, but I remember getting teary-eyed seeing Han Solo and Chewie walk in.
Bro, absolutely. And they come on I saw it opening night. Like in the IMAX 3D. It was completely sold out. I was in the front row. And they come on the ship and they're like, Han Solo's like, Chewie, we're home. And people just started cheering. It was like,
it was cool.
It's one of those things where, you see it and you're like, this is a real culture. And to like some people, like to people, and even like you and me to an extent, like this universe of these characters is real and people genuinely give a fuck.
I'll sit there and watch YouTube videos about like different types of clone troopers. Just
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know why, but I just sit there and I really fucking enjoy it.
People give a fuck.
It started as like a new, refresh idea. And now it's like one of the biggest fucking movies ever. And I feel like if Hollywood were to do more original films, most of them are flops. But there are those few that come out strong and there's a massive cult following. If Hollywood were to do more just refreshing new ideas, and listen to the younger people that they hire, I feel like a lot better media would be coming out.
Right, I agree. And that's one thing about Disney, just on the topic of, who really have their finger on the pulse with because they've got Marvel and they've got Star Wars. And when you really look at box office numbers, there's not very many movies that are coming out that are critically and box office wise, doing the numbers that they're doing, where it's making $1 billion and getting great reviews. Like very seldomly do you see both. Usually you're getting, really good reviews, and then award season comes around and you see a jump in those numbers. Very seldomly do you see. But no, exactly. Disney's really got their finger on the pulse with knowing, they do something that a lot of other production companies I think are afraid to do with people like Universal and Warner Brothers especially, is Disney just steps back and lets the creative people do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Just do what they need to do. And I think that's paid off tremendously. I think that if...
And that's why... I think that's a big reason why Marvel's thriving more than DC right now, is because DC will go in as a studio and take out everything that creative that happened.
They'll have 4 cuts of every movie and DLC, like we talked about. Oh shit! Like we've talked about DLC for movies, like where they put out the extended cut for everything.
It's so unneeded, and that's not how viewing media is supposed to be. for video games, that's a big thing. People hate that. It's like, you're giving me, I'm paying $60 for a game, and it's not complete.
Right, and so now I have to pay additional money.
I have to pay
to
another
get the full
another $60 to
Yeah.
get more content. And I feel like that's it's really messed up that they're doing that with movies now. Is that, oh, you watched this cut of the movie, but you have to pay another $40 to see
$30 buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
See the full thing.
see the full thing.
No,
It's
unnecessary.
It's
And
so
I
unnecessarily,
agree.
and if you're gonna give me something, give me it in full, give me it finished. I want a finished product. DLC is just a cheap money laundering thing that studios do, and it's not the creative people who make the media. It's the studios that definitely do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this topic has dragged on long enough.
You're right.
I'm sorry if you fell asleep.
We are sorry if you fell asleep. We got really into that one.
But if you enjoyed that conversation, by all means, talk to us about it. We'd love to talk to you more about it.
Unless you disagree, I
Unless
don't
you
want to talk to
disagree,
you about it at all.
yeah, just stay
Keep
out of my
your
DMs.
opinion to yourself.
What else you want to talk about, man? What else you feeling?
Shit, man.
What's on your mind?
What is on my mind? I don't know. I'm just chilling right now. I'm just thinking about.
Just chilling.
Yeah, I'm just chilling right now. It's 2016 as turbulent, I think would be the best word, of a year as it was for a lot of areas. It was a good year for entertainment. It was a good year for music.
Oh, most definitely. I think
yeah.
one of the best years for music in the last 10 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know that you and Brian already talked about on the last episode the top 10 albums, so we won't go back into that too much. But no, I think that it was a really good year. We had a lot of artists who had not really been putting out music.
Come out.
Yeah, bring out a lot of new stuff. Beyonce, Rihanna, Drake,
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean, J. Cole came back. Kendrick Lamar had that Untitled Unmastered at the beginning of the
That was
year.
very
Chance
good,
the
yeah.
Rapper, Post Malone had his debut. So Vic Mensa.
Yep.
So it was a big year for hip hop, and I think it was a good year for entertainment in general. A lot of really big blockbusters, Rogue One and Deadpool, which smashed at the box office.
Which is another, tying it back to before, was a creative, just a low budget movie. It was a refreshing new idea. It's not new, but it was new to cinema.
Right.
That studio, they didn't want to give them all the money. They said,
we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Here's a budget. We'll see how it goes. Made more
money than any other rated R movie ever.
And any X-Men that came out.
Killed it.
Blew everything away.
I saw it 4 times.
Yeah.
I saw Deadpool 4 times in the theater.
I went out and bought it on Blu-ray, and I've never buy DVDs. I was just like, I want to own a copy of this movie. It was so good.
That's how enjoyable it was.
And it's that just shows studios that they need to listen to these new creative ideas, and they need to listen to the fans.
Right, because people have been begging for that shit.
Yeah, for years.
Since X-Men Origins, which sucked some big dick.
Everyone's like, I want a Deadpool.
But we were still walked away from that movie yo, the best part of this movie was Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool at the beginning of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And I have high hopes. This is looping back to the X-Men thing for Logan.
Yeah.
Which is coming up in March. I have really high hopes for that. I hated X-Men Apocalypse. I don't even know did you see it?
I never saw it. I didn't waste my money on
It was absolutely boring, and that sucks to me because I loved Days of Future Past, and I loved First Class. I've loved these reboots that they've done, and Apocalypse was so bland. It was so boring. It was so stale. I just didn't care for it, and so I have such high hopes for Logan. And I was watching. I think it was an interview with Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds said that the movie is he says that from the stuff that he's seen, he thinks that it could be one of those first superhero movies to really get in the conversation when it comes to award season. And that never happens. The Dark Knight, that it got the best supporting actor win for Heath Ledger, but as far as actually
as a whole,
the movie as a whole and not being what it is, a movie as a whole, really making its way, a superhero movie as a whole, making its way into the award realm is fucking unheard of. But I would absolutely love to see Logan be that movie, because there's, when you really think about it, X-Men, which I've never been a huge fan of as far as a film franchise. I loved the cartoon, from the 90s. I even loved X-Men Evolution. Did you ever see that one? and like Wolverine, and so like I've always loved the X-Men as characters, but
Almost definitely,
as
yeah.
a franchise, it was never anything that I was really dying to see. I was lining up for. There have been more mediocre X-Men than good X-Men, I think.
I think there's only 2 X-Men that I like.
Which ones are they?
I think X-Men First Class and X-Men, what was it?
2?
Origins?
I don't know. Which one? What was it?
It's like not the one before Days of Future Past, but the one after. It was with, I think it was X-Men Origins, though. I think it was like 2014 or 2015 it came out.
There's First Class where they're young.
Yeah.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
And then the Days of Future Past, I think. Was
Yep, where it's like the both of them where they're young and old.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so X-Men, the first 2 were people love those. People really rave about, especially the second one for whatever reason. I think it's kind of overrated, but the second one people love. First Class, Days of Future
when
Past.
they rebooted the universe, I think. It was.
Yeah. But like X-Men 3, the origin movies, like they had rolled out X-Men Origins Wolverine with the intention of like doing a young Magneto movie and a fucking all sorts of these origin story movies, and then X-Men,
which I don't think the
Right.
culture for X-Men is really there.
no,
It's very cliche. I mean, not cliche, but it's really like really kind of like small culture with X-Men. A lot of people like X-Men, don't get me wrong, but I think the fan base for X-Men, I think Deadpool has more fans than the X-Men universe has fans.
Well, now especially.
Yeah.
Now especially.
Now especially, but I just remember Deadpool's like been everyone's just favorite at like
Right.
Mad Cons and stuff.
And he's got a cult following of non-comic book fans.
Yeah.
Deadpool's was like a thing people wore on hoodies when we were in high school.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
he's had a cult following, but yeah, I mean, as far as X-Men goes, they had intended to roll out all those like the extended X-Men universe with all these origin stories. And then Wolverine tanked, and they were like, "Yo, fuck this."
Yeah.
Put that back. But anyway, the point is, even in all these piss poor X-Men attempts, there was always sort of one good thing that came out of it, and it was always Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, which is
Phenomenal.
is still to me the best comic book performance ever.
Yeah. Which I'm really sad to see him be done with
Right.
after Logan, because I really wanted a Logan Deadpool movie.
Would have loved it.
That'd have been awesome.
Would have loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that with this upcoming X-Men movie being his send-off, where it's like, yo, we're saying goodbye to this person who's literally been the center of these movies since 1998.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
It's a long ass time.
That's basically his entire career, or a very, very good chunk of it. He's been involved. He's been the face of these X-Men movies. So I think for this send-off, there's a lot riding on this, and I would love to see this.
He's equivalent to
Just kill
when Robert Downey Jr. leaves the Avengers.
Agreed. I agree. Maybe even. Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say maybe bigger, but no, because Avengers is definitely more popular than X-Men.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. Hugh Jackman really, like Robert Downey Jr. He really started the franchise. He gave the franchise a face. Love Patrick Stewart, but he ain't the fucking face of
No, he's not.
X-Men.
Definitely not.
I love Michael Fassbender more than anything, but
Yeah.
we don't need it. But anyway,
Have you watched Black Mirror?
no, is it good?
Phenomenal.
Really?
If you guys don't know, Black Mirror is a series on Netflix.
It's a Netflix original.
It's a Netflix original. It started off as a British kind of television show. It was in Britain originally. It was kind of like the Europe kind of scene, and then they brought it over to America. It is about technology. It's very Twilight Zone-ish. It's got that kind of twist at the end, but it's relating to technology that is only a couple years ahead of us. But it also brings out the darkness and evil that could come along with that technology.
So it really hits those
It
parallels.
Yeah, and it really hits home because you're like, oh fuck, this is only a couple years ahead of us that we could be experiencing this kind of shit.
Right.
They cover like contact lenses and being able to block people and like being able to block them. So there's one episode, I'm not going to spoil anything, there's an episode where you can block someone with your contact lens, and that person is gray in photos, and when you talk to them in person, they're this kind of gray, distorted, censored out figure, and it kind of covers how childish it is to block somebody over like an argument or something. Like a couple will get an argument and they'll just block them, and they can't talk to each other until you unblock them.
Right.
But and then there's other stories. There's like a survival horror one where it's like augmented reality, and it's a thing that goes into your brain and like it taps into your fears, like your greatest fears. There's just a bunch of different concepts that this show covers, and it is phenomenal. There's I think two episodes that really lack that kind of like oh shit moment. But besides that, I recommend. There's only 3 seasons. I think the first season has 3 episodes.
Oh shit.
The second season has I think 4 episodes, and then the third season I think has 5 episodes. And I think they're doing another season, but it's definitely a show to watch. I don't really hear that many people talking about it, but when I hear people talking about it, it's nothing but good reviews.
Right.
So that's something for you to watch and something for you guys to watch.
You guys.
What
we do this for?
You watch anything good on Netflix?
I'm trying to think of the last thing I watched. The last thing that I watched, as far as like, was a Netflix original. It was called Easy. Not gonna really get into it. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was a Netflix original. It was like 8 episodes. It was a cool concept. Nothing too crazy though. But yeah, no, I'm not really watching anything too wild. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, not watching anything too wild right now. I've been pretty dormant with it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that I want to watch. I've wanted to check out Black Mirror. I've seen it on Netflix. I've wanted to check out. Trying to think. I'm waiting patiently on Iron Fist as well.
That's one thing I haven't gotten into is the Marvel Netflix.
I like the Marvel TV universe more than the movie cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I like the stories they can tell. I think that they're obviously darker.
Well, with series you can get a lot more content.
Right.
And
oh yeah.
Create
character
arcs and stuff.
You got to think with every episode running an hour.
Yeah.
With
there's
Daredevil.
There's a lot of character building.
We've gotten 26 hours of Daredevil content. That's more than we're ever gonna get of Captain America content or Iron Man.
I watched the first 3 episodes of Daredevil and I was like, that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
I wasn't really feeling it.
It's slow to go.
I might have to get back into
That's
it.
with a lot of the Netflix Marvel shows. They're very slow to go. It's all very, very character driven. There are times where I'll be watching it and I'm like, fuck, I forgot this was a superhero show.
Yeah.
Especially with shows like Jessica Jones and Luke Cage where, it's not really a known superhero and their superhero name is their fucking name.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'm definitely like, well, I completely forgot I was watching a show about, powered people.
I think Iron Fist might be the one I watch.
That one looks pretty cool.
I'm waiting. Aren't they doing Punisher?
Yep.
Punisher's probably one of my favorite heroes.
He in Daredevil
Anti-heroes.
season 2, he is a huge part, and besides Hugh Jackman, I do think that he is probably the second best.
He was great in Walking Dead.
Loved him in Walking Dead. And did you ever see The Pacific, which was I think it was an HBO show. It was like a 10-episode HBO miniseries, and it was about the World War II and soldiers who were fighting in the Pacific Theater during World War II, and it was like 4 different stories, and he was in it, and he was absolutely phenomenal in that show as well. John Bernthal is a fucking phenomenal,
very good actor.
He is. I have nothing but good things to say about him, but anyway.
Hey guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We appreciate you guys for listening. If you listened to all that rambling about movies, bless up.
Yeah. And thank you so much to Colin and the Head Ass Podcast for letting me co-host. I'm sure we'll be back next week until Brian's back. And maybe I'll stick around, or maybe it'll just be Colin and Brian, or maybe it'll just be me and Colin again, or maybe it'll just be me and Brian.
Or maybe it'll be all three of us.
I don't know. Maybe I'll start my own podcast. Maybe I'll commandeer this channel.
Maybe we'll just stop the Head Ass Podcast.
Maybe we'll just end this because we're getting no love. And it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We should have 1 million subs.
1 million subs.
Anyways, make sure you like the video, comment your opinions of what you want to hear us talk about next, and follow us on all social media so you can stay up to date. Ask us questions on there. All those links will probably be in the description.
Jack just did my whole job for me. I don't have to say anything else.
I'm good at this closing YouTube video shit.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next week.